you're scared of posting and you're scared of what people are going to think of you, just remember that the stuff that you saw yesterday on Instagram, you probably don't remember today. And if you do have somebody, posting for you and you just are super controlling of what goes out there, which is totally normal. We get that all the time. I would say just turn your phone off and watch it grow.
I think we got a new lead. Did you see the comment on Instagram?
On the last post we did,
Yeah, it was your
Logan's
face.
mom.
yeah, that was my mom. That was my mom.
Amber?
Yeah, she's my mom. I think that she would be a great person for you to work with. My
I got
mom,
my
my
hopes
mom's too
up.
slow for me.
That's mean.
Well, no, it's just like I don't know. It's just I have less patience when working with my mom, but I try and just have her trust me, but she kind of has issues with like relinquishing control. But I'm just like, I do this. Come on, just trust me. But it's kind of funny. So you posted that video last night, and all of a sudden my mom sends me a text message back. She's like, Logan, I love the video. I want to be the guinea pig. Let's go. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. She goes, but that video, I could see your chinner, the double chin. She's like, I could see your chinner. Send it to me. I'm gonna Facetune it and get rid of the chinner.
Oh
And dude,
my
so
god.
I was like, whatever. So I downloaded it and sent it to her. And then she goes, I couldn't get rid of the chinner, but I fixed your skin complexion. You look flawless. And I
Oh my
look at the
god.
video. Oh my God, you have to see the before and after. I look like Squidward when he gets hit in the face with the door. I look perfect. I was like, that's not me. I can't.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
but
My
it
mom.
goes, huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Keep going.
It goes to show though, a lot of people, especially I would say successful real estate agents kind of tend to be in like the, 30 to 60 age range, right? Around, I'd say around that age. And a lot of those people are starting to get older visually than their parents, right? And they have wrinkles or they don't look the way they want. And they're always like so self-conscious about how they look on camera. And my mom told me, she's like, I don't care. Like, I will put my stuff through Facetune because it makes me feel confident. And, and everyone has their own sort of way of looking at themselves. Everyone is their worst critic. So, whatever you have to do to put it out there, except for me, I want to be real. I don't want to look
You know,
Wait,
beautiful. And then when I show up in person, I'm just like, yeah,
got a chinner.
I looked like a
that's
torta when
gonna
I
be
was
the
dancing, though.
that's gonna be the title of this YouTube video from the podcast. It's gonna be he's got a chinner.
No,
I
your
think
mom
we all
sounds
do.
iconic though.
No, my mom's she's our biggest fan. I mean, from the early days of me and Nate just figuring things out, my mom's always been there, and I mean, she mentored me as I started in real estate, and that definitely helped us propel forward because coming into the real estate market as a real estate production team and media team, understanding real estate and understanding what agents are looking for and what agents are standing out, we definitely had that dynamic to help us be ahead of our competition and set us apart. So yeah, it's she's cool.
She's also given us a
Wow.
lot of just valuable feedback on our products because there is definitely like different levels, I feel like, of technologically advanced people. And I think that she has a very traditional legacy way of doing business. But she's also one that is like pushing to do more, and you could kind of just see how we can bridge the connection there, and it helps us, I think, ultimately make just smarter decisions and fix our communication and just our tactics when
Absolutely.
messaging this type of stuff, because we can't always be talking to people at our level. We have to talk to people at a level where anybody can understand and make it that simple, and I think that's the trick.
It's a very good point. That's a very good point because when you're speaking real estate, you can't act like all your followers understand real estate. So you have to make it simple for them to understand, make it fun, and kind of going back to what my mom was teaching us as we were working with her was she had difficulties downloading videos that we would send her via Dropbox and posting them onto the MLS. the MLS has it's called an IDX feed, which feeds over to like Zillow, Redfin, and all these consumer sites. And you need to have a YouTube link for your video to showcase it online. My mom's like, I don't have a YouTube channel, right? I don't know how to download from Dropbox to my computer and do this and upload that. And it made us think like, wow, maybe a lot of other agents are dealing with the same problem. So that gave us like a sort of solving the solution approach to helping agents that are not necessarily tech savvy,
Yeah, definitely. It also too, like, it was a game changer because when we started using software to deliver all of our content, how you mentioned when we would deliver via Dropbox links in an email, that just kind of could get a little bit confusing. Dropbox is confusing for us a lot of the times, trying to figure out who's getting
Yes.
access, how the folder is going to be shared, and whatever else. But it just goes to show, when you have a very nice platform that's easy to work with, it can really help scale your business, because it allows you to just have a very smooth process when dealing with some things that may be difficult. And I think that being able to have, like, Ario, I'll go ahead and plug it. When we use that and we deliver to our clients, it's very simple to download the content straight to your phone. You can post it straight to social media. That's why we supply our clients with social media videos, because it's a one click and it's in your camera roll, and you can go ahead and post it with our music or whatever music that is trending at the time. So I think that you got to keep that in mind too, because it really does make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Ario is so easy to use. I've never used it before, but it's so easy to download. And Blake just showed me one day in like 5 seconds, and it's so easy.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, there's a lot of like nice user-friendly additions with that where it makes customization easier for agents, but also the convenience of being able to download it to your phone, because a lot of the agents have to, if it was in the old way via email, they have to get it email to email, then they have to, I don't know, just the transformation from the phone to the client's phone is just so seamless, really. And that's where, you could send like 3 pictures to your client and be like, hey, these are the best 3, or whatever it
Yeah.
looks like. But
I'm not even lying when I say we started this business with pencil and paper, like literally just writing things down, okay, deliver this, and it was so just scrappy, and it goes to show 5 years in how much things can change, and how software and systems are just critical to be able to grow, to do it over and over again. And I mean, thank God we have Nate, who's totally into like building systems and understands that. I mean, that's a superpower of his. And I mean, it's been crazy to see how much we've changed. I mean, I remember what, like, in the summer days, the sun sets at like 8 p.m., right? And we're 2 hours away. We would commute, come home at 10 p.m., and then we'd start uploading our content, and then we'd have to wait for everything to upload. And we're uploading like large log files that are shot, super high quality. Sometimes we'd be up to like 3 a.m. waiting for that upload on some slow Wi-Fi to then send it to our editing team. And I mean, prior to that, we didn't even have an editing team. So it's just like goes to show like all of the systems that go into place um, to give our content to our clients within 24 hours, right? It's like a huge system that you don't have to worry about. You just go to a trusted team like ours and say, hey, let's roll, and you can expect a high quality in less than 24 hours, and that's just constant. It's just constant, so it's great.
It's also like unheard of, especially like I've worked with people that do photo video, and I waited one time like 2 months for something, and I was like, how in the world? So I came in here later, and so when you just said that, it kind of like sparked something in me. How did you guys go from the pen and paper to all these systems? Because you guys have so many systems. What made you realize you needed to have a system,
I think I
and
could
how'd you
probably
make
take
it?
that.
Yeah.
So there's this one time, we were talking about this the other day, where Logan ended up getting an eye infection. and we were driving back and forth from Turlock to San Francisco, and he was like, he was in bad shape, but he was a trooper. Ended up coming with me and was wearing sunglasses inside the home while I shot, because we were just so unfamiliar. It was probably like our third or fourth house that we had filmed for a client, and by the end of it, like, I'm driving back, he's trying to edit. That was our system. Like, whoever wasn't driving was editing. And what happened
That was
was
the system.
he was just like, I can't do this. Like, I literally can't. And I was like, I can't do this. I just drove and shot and did all this stuff. We have to go back in the morning for another client we just got. And so then I ended up going online and going to a few places I won't really mention, but I ended up going and finding some editors. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just let the world know. I ended up going onto Facebook and finding a bunch of different editors there, and I was able to connect with people in a different country in different time zones. So we were able to get home, upload, and then send them a link, and then they would be able to take that content and then go ahead and return it to us.
And that was something totally new to us, like working with someone overseas that barely speaks your language, right? But these people have I don't know how long this has been around, but having VAs or editors abroad, working specifically in an industry that just works specifically with you to turn videos, that was something that we didn't really understand. I don't know how long it was going on, like predominantly across like the industry, but yeah, it was kind of scary at first, and it was, we started, getting questions from our clients and potential customers. They were like, "Well, when will I get the media?" And I'm over here with my pink eye infection. I'm like, "I don't know, maybe tomorrow." And I'm like trying to stay up all night and edit, and um, it became obvious that in a big market like San Francisco Bay Area, that the expectation was they wanted the content like 24 to 48 hours, like next day to that. And that's what was going to make us competitive with our competition, the people that have been around for a while. So, I mean, you could, and within our industry, you can compete in many different factors. It could be on price, on turnaround time, like the customer experience, and pretty much like those things. So we're like, okay, let's turn around in 24 hours. Let's competitively price ourselves. And then like the last thing was like, okay, like let's go after it and just give them the best experience. And that really put us into a competitive place. If we didn't turn our content around in 24 hours, there's no way we'd be here year 5. I mean, that's just an industry standard.
I vividly remember, like, we would go and we would shoot some or film some house, and then the next morning at like 8 a.m., the client would be calling or texting, emailing us, being like, "Do you know when the content's going to be ready?" And I'm like, I vividly remember this, like editing, like woke up early to start editing, had no idea about this expected timeline, and was just like so blown away. I seriously told myself or asked myself, is this person serious? Do they really think that we're going to be able to like give them all of this content and in a day's turnaround? And little did we know that that was the standard and very possible when building the right team. So it was
Yeah.
a very interesting learning experience, because we, like Logan said, started this from pen and paper, and we had no idea what the expectations were in the industry. So something that we learned the hard way, but luckily we learned it very easily.
Yeah. There's no way to compete competitively without having a team, right? Having a team of people that shoot, having a team that edits, having a team that focuses on the customer. That allows a company to thrive and to give consistent results. Working with like an individual, it's hard to achieve all those things. The prices tend to be higher. It's more boutique, but what happens if that person's sick? What happens if that person wants to travel? It's hard. So working with a team is very important. And thinking if you're a real estate agent, thinking about your team, right? And wanting to do like social media stuff or video content, to do everything yourself is difficult, right? It's taxing. It takes time. So it's like you want to hire someone to to do these things, right? And you could have someone internal that kind of focuses on everything, just like as an assistant. They record things for you, they do appointments, they do all kinds of things. Or you could, save a lot more and just like outsource to a team like ours, and kind of have us work specifically on like your social media stuff. I think it's really important to understand like what you're good at and what you should be spending your time on, and just go all in on that, and then have someone take care of these things. Because if you want to be able to be 5 years in and have a large success and double the size of your business every year, you have to scale with people.
No, I love that. I love that. And so I think that's really kind of segues into what we're going to be talking about this episode, because we're wrapping up the year. We've been focusing on 2024 in our meetings, and we've even been having content strategy meetings about the content that we're putting out. So it's kind of made me start thinking about the systems and processes and how we help our clients. So, I think we should kind of talk about the process of what we do when we bring people on to revamp, revive their accounts, and what a strategy session looks like, what goes into the process.
So yeah, Omni. Pretty much our process starts with having someone understand what their need is, what their problems are, and what we do is we come in and we talk to the client and actually understand what these specific problems or needs are, and align them with like their goals, and how to take care of those problems with our services. So as once someone's interested, they'll book a call with us, and we get a better understanding of what their goals are, what problems they're facing, and then we have like different solutions for different problems and uh, different goals to reach those. And once we find the right program, we have a few different programs. Right now, we're running the Revive program. This is to get people just active again and posting content that they already have, just repurposing it, and bringing their accounts back to life and consistent. And then we have other programs where it's more like talking head and building your brand with your face, and being like your neighborhood expert, your city expert. And there's a lot of different things you could do with that program. But once we understand the program, what we do is we pass that.
Baton.
Yeah, we pass the baton over to our project man. Oh my god, I can't even talk for crap. So once we understand what the vision is, the solutions we're going to bring, like the goals, we introduce our brand manager, which is Montana, and Montana kind of goes in there and starts to understand their brand. Do you want to kind of talk on that, Montana?
Yeah, so I think what happened the last time was, they've already in the process in all the systems that we have. Usually they've already uploaded content. So I can look at it before the call, and that gives me a really fresh perspective of what we're working with. So I can see, I can start thinking, and I can start doing the creeping on your socials of what you've already been doing, what you do. I'm researching trending things that we can use with the content that you have, and then we sit down and we talk about your goals, and we talk about how we can make the videos that you have on your camera roll that you've uploaded work in today's what's going and what's trending today, and what's going to work better. We can add text on top. You don't have to be always talking. I think that's what makes people really scared. They're like, I don't want to just pull my phone out and talk. And I'm like, okay, don't just post. I'm sure you have some videos of you and your family doing something, or you doing something. So really just taking a look at what you have and figuring out your goals, learning the how you speak, how you want to show up, what you want to say, who you want to attract. And then I go in the kitchen and start cooking, and I start cooking up some stuff, and then I send it to you and you love it.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty good synopsis there. I think the ideal client for what this program is would be
Is
somebody
Logan's
who
mom.
has. Yes, Amber, if you see this, please sign up. You're gonna love it, and we would love your valuable feedback. But the ideal client for a program like Revive is going to be somebody who isn't really sure how to scale up their brand, Also, it could be somebody who knows how to create content, but maybe doesn't want to be posting it all the time. Both of those people are going to love this program because they can just upload the content. We come up with a strategy, and then we're able to post it through our software, which has a ton of bells and whistles that can also facilitate lead management, lead generation, and stuff like that. So you can manage your entire business from one place, and it's a really, really cool software. So I would love for any feedback from anybody who is interested in something like this, because we really do think we have something special here.
I mean, all this stuff that you can do with the back end with the Omni software that you guys have like built is crazy. Because we were even talking about the call we have, I think, with the guy today, and he wants specific types of leads, and I was like looking at the content he already had, and it was already great, but it wasn't getting him leads. And with the software that we all have, like I feel like it can amplify that and bring in more than just views and likes. It can bring in actual leads.
Yeah, it's a game changer. It's what sets us apart in that arena, because we have all of the abilities to do website design, lead pages, run ads, and all of that good stuff. But a lot of times there's missing pieces of the software that's used to do all of that. And for him, he has a ton of followers that he was able to gain from the previous agency he worked with, and he wasn't really satisfied with that, because what we talked about in one of the last episodes was like, what is a good piece of content? And something I mentioned was conversion, right? If you're able to convert somebody who's an audience member or a follower on social media, then you're doing business. You're making money at that point online, right? So for him, he had all of the correct content and things that he needed to create and talk about, but it was just gaining followers. And with some of the strategies that you put together, Montana, our clients are very easily able to obtain leads by simply using one of our features that's like ManyChat. And people could drop a comment, and we could autonomously send them a PDF or send them a landing page that we create. That's all done on our Omni software. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do that can help scale your business, let alone, and I'll just keep talking about it, but let alone the workflows and autonomous tools that you can send people in. So for example, when we got that Slack message yesterday, I built a calendar out, and I was able to put in some automations so that once the booking was made, we got a notification on our Slack channel with the meeting details, the meeting link, so you can easily just go in, press the button, and join if you really wanted to. On the back end, our client is going to receive a bunch of emails. That is an intro email. He's going to have different text messages leading up to the meeting, all different things that we can do on the Omni software, including adding phone numbers, which is really, really popular for people that are running campaigns and stuff like that. Because, for example, if you have a bus advertisement, you're not going to want to put your personal phone on the bus. People are going to be calling it at weird hours or just wasting your time. We could do that simply through our software, that you could purchase a phone number, and it tracks all the leads, the names, phone numbers, emails, and it picks it up automatically. So it's really cool.
That Slack message was not you, that was automated?
That was automated, yeah.
It looked so humanly.
I typed it out. I mean, like I could write the message, but as far as like the details and stuff, or just pressing go, it all happened as soon as I pressed the booking on our calendar widget. So, and we can do that for anybody who's interested in that. So for example, an open house, somebody who's running an open house could have one of these landing pages. We've actually set one up for one of our clients, Victoria. And whenever somebody goes to an open house, they can scan a QR code, opens up this nice, beautiful landing page where they enter in their information, and automatically they're put into her seller or buyer pipeline, which will send curated messages to those leads based upon whatever it is that they're looking for. So it's really, really, really cool, and we have a lot of abilities that we can harness there.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's all really good, Nate. I think I think what's important too is for every agent out there is to have a CRM that works, right? A CRM that helps build the business. And many people have a CRM that maybe just has contacts from their email, right? You just export all your contacts from your email and then put them into your CRM and just start nurturing that. But what's really really important is understanding your pipeline, right? Your pipeline of buyers or sellers, right? And understanding who is at what stage, maybe some people that are interested, right? Interested in buying, interested in selling, or have already kind of talked about wanting to list next year or sell their home next year, and understanding where they are and who needs more attention, right? Because I would say like the very top of your funnel before they even get into the pipeline is just awareness, having everybody know who you are, right? And actually narrowing it down and funneling it down to understanding who needs more attention, right? And by the time someone wants to buy or sell their house, whoever that buyer or seller is giving their attention to, that's who they're probably going to buy or sell their house with. And having a tool like a CRM like ours is so important for the success of an agent, because there's so many things going on in our mind that we forget. Oh, Brian wanted to do something this year, or this or that, and having it tracked in a CRM and a pipeline constantly reminds you, okay, this person I need to have a conversation with, right? And what we've done that isn't, I mean, I really haven't seen this around. And what makes this system stand out is we've integrated social media content, um, like a social media content planner, into our CRM. And we're trying to feed over engaged followers or people that are engaged with your posts into your CRM. So you're not having to meet someone, shake their hand at a coffee shop and say, "Hey, can I get your email?" Like that's like cringe. Like nowadays it's different. So how do we get an engaged follower, someone who comments on your post or someone who responds to a story, into your CRM? And that's what we do, right? But if you're not posting content, you can't really use your network and feed them into your CRM. So I think now is more important than ever to go digital, go all in on building your brand digitally. I mean, you could still do like mailers and hit different neighborhoods, for different folks. But I mean, if you look at reach and how many people you can reach through social media organically, or maybe through some paid ads, I mean, it's substantial how many people you can actually reach versus, sending traditional postage out or something like that. Yeah.
So something that makes it different is that if you have a phone number set up with us, if you have your social media connected and your email set up with us, you're able to track all of these people and communicate with them all in one place. And it's something that we actually do for our clients. A quick little like look into what we do at Clout is we have different customer journeys that are built out for our clients depending on what type of products that they're interested in. So we have our listing stuff, and then we have our digital product stuff, and then all the other marketing products fall into that digital product pipeline. And based upon whatever that prospect is interested in, we're able to track them, move them along into the different stages of the pipeline. You could even assign them a value so that you can see in your pipeline, like, I have 5 prospects and these digital products are $1,000 each. I have $5,000 in this pipeline that I need to convert into customers. And it makes it very, very easy to track so that when you're going and making those calls or you're sending out that newsletter, you could go follow up with the people who are interested in what it is that you're talking about all in one place.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. So, what are some tips that people can do, like to film some content on their phone? And how can they just start getting, like, I feel like the first step in this process of posting is just getting the courage to post. So, like, what are some basic tools everybody should have for creating the high quality content with your phone? What are some ways they can do it?
Maybe Blake should take this one because he's creating
That's what I
some
was thinking.
pretty funny content on our social media as of late.
Yeah, so I think one of the bigger things in my current market here would be research events and things that are going on the weekends that maybe you could go and show up to and just grab 5 clips at, like, whether it's a Saturday market or some restaurant that's just opening, or if you're Christmas caroling downtown in front of the Capitol or something. I mean, it's all this stuff really serves a purpose to really get people to be engaged and ask the leading question, oh, where was this at? Is there going to be another weekend for this? Or however that may look. But those are, I think, the most important things moving forward in this busier time, because there's a lot of stuff going on in for the holidays that you can really capitalize on in terms of just getting quick, easy shots. And photos are fine too. It doesn't have to be a video. Like, photos do serve just as good as a purpose as a video clip as well. But um,
Yeah, a little 20 slide photo dump with some music. Great.
yeah.
Love.
Chef's kiss.
And what are you using, Blake, to capture some of that content behind the scenes that you've been getting?
Yeah, so I have a little tripod, and I have my well, for behind the scene content, I'm using like a tripod with my phone, and then I'm trying to just mimic different movements and envisioning what I can make this content into. There's a little bit more of a focus for this. It's not just kind of like a show up and shoot. It's more, I guess it's more catered to be a little more comical and lighthearted. But just a tripod and my phone.
I guess that's
Honestly,
so.
Blake, I think you can speak to the audience because when I sent you that reel, I was like, it was inspo. I was like, hey, I think the next time you're at a shoot, you should like make this because I think it would be funny and I think you would be funny at doing it. And I thought there was absolute zero chance I would ever get the footage of this because I was like, there's no way he's going to do that. Like, he's a guy, it's embarrassing. I'm making him dance. And when you did it, it made my whole week. Like I'm still not okay about it. It's like I'm so happy. So how'd you get over that? Because I'm sure you weren't like, let me go do this for Montana. I'm so excited. So like, how did you get over that?
It's funny is I actually did think that. Like, I was like, I'm gonna make this for Montana because I know she's gonna like purpose it to be a lot better. But having a little bit of a game face is a little intimidating. It's very hard to stand in front of a camera, let alone do silly actions. I mean, when I go to a shoot and I'm shooting, I usually have music in, and I am dancing, and I am being, there's just a different type of dopamine going in to get me like super creative. So I do that, and I think it was just that time I had to like really show everyone like, okay, this is like pretty normal for me to do at any particular shoot. Like, I'm always vibing, I'm always getting creative. I I like to just be out there really.
And you know what's crazy? I'm just looking back at our past content. We post quite a bit, and the last time we've had a post that exceeded the amount of views your post received was 16 weeks ago. So you're looking at a few months of content that hasn't performed as well as this one. And yeah, it may not convert somebody this time, but it may bring somebody in who wants to see a little bit more personality from a brand and eventually get them to convert on another piece of content. And I think that's important to note, is that you can't always be selling. I mean, you should always be selling, but sometimes you got to be building a little bit of a brand first and credibility, and sometimes
Mhm.
a little bit of a personality, because people are going to stick around if you get their attention and continue to make them laugh a little bit. And I think at first, Logan, you had mentioned when we were talking about Omni and stuff like that, of growing the brand, you wanted to do a lot of like meme type stuff. And I was just like, I don't see it. Like, I don't engage with funny stuff. I don't laugh when I'm on social media. I'm just like learning, like super boring. But
Well,
Oh my God, Nate.
but
you know,
you, but
Nate's
you, like,
algorithm is
you
probably
really,
like systems.
yeah, it is. It's like all talking about software and Mark Zuckerberg and stuff. And like, I really didn't get it. But very quickly I was able to understand, as I needed to take myself out of the way I think and I needed to really see from a marketing perspective of how this could be effective. And I did, and that was something that I just saw was really important. And I'm glad that we're really stepping into that kind of sphere here of creating that type of content, because it does do well and it does receive some views and could potentially bring somebody in to stay a while.
I think that when someone goes about like creating content and overthinking, like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. I think you kind of have to hone in like to your strengths and what you like and your interests, and it makes everything so much easier when you're doing something you like, right? Like for instance, Blake dancing, right? In one of the videos, Blake dancing may do better than Blake in front of the camera, and it might be easier for him to do 10 dancing videos than to do 10 videos talking to the camera. So if you're looking at it, if you're watching this and you're thinking like, man, I could do like a talking head video, but I can't do it over and over and over again. You have to find something that works for you, right? Something that is not necessarily easy, because it's not everything is easy. It does take time, but finding what it is that you can easily repeat and like be known for that, right? So if you're just understanding like what you're good at and just like double downing on that, and it just kind of goes down into like our video frameworks, right? There's different frameworks that you can easily follow that have certain steps. It could be like an educational type of video, or it could be a entertaining video. It could be a humorous video. There's different types of frameworks we have that I'd be more than happy to share with you. It's understanding which framework works for you, and then finding the media that fulfills that sort of framework. It could be faceless content of you just like shooting content downtown with a voiceover, or it could be you in front of the camera. It doesn't really, there's not a specific way to do it. It's finding something that is easy for you to do over and over again. And ultimately, you'll get really good at it, and then you can always add things later down the road. So if you want to do home tours, right, and just like show the house, and you want to follow them because you're going to get the same thing. It's not just like this scattered out all kinds of stuff. Like, hey, what do you do for a living, right? Nice car. What do
Yeah.
you do for a living? The Daniel Mack or whatever his name is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just something so simple. And if you get really good at doing something, stick to it, right? So if it's Blake dancing, let's keep dancing,
Yeah.
I think you have to reflect on the past to understand what you did that worked, and how far you've come in the past to set realistic goals in the future. And I like to grow every year. I like to try and grow the business, have more new clients, and have a larger team. So if that's your goal, understanding how to achieve that, right? And exactly like what Nate said, is just like reverse engineering. So if you think of wanting to do, like, let's talk about like real estate. If you want to do X amount, or like, let's say in real estate, you want to have 20% growth over the next year, right? Look at your past year of how many clients you've served, or how many clients have actually went through your pipeline, and how many you actually converted into a sale, and think about that. So maybe you met 100 people and that resulted in 10 sales, right? So going into next year, if you want to grow by 20%, you need to meet 120 new people and convert them at that same kind of conversion percentage. So looking forward, uh, goal planning, you have to think of the things you're going to do, and specifically in social media. I mean, this podcast is a lot about building your brand, and how to do that, online, social media, and all that stuff. So understanding what your plan is now. If you're watching this and you're a real estate agent that doesn't have a social media plan because you don't know where to start, you're probably not alone. And that's why we're here. So if you need help understanding or developing a plan, it's important that you work with someone like us that understands your goals and how we can achieve that with consistent posting. I think that each and every real estate brand, or any brand in particular, any brand should be posting at least 100 times next year. And if you could, think about how to get in front of your audience, how to, create videos that educate, entertain, nurture, or whatever it is that that works for you. Try and hit 100 posts next year. Um, and I don't think it's the, hey, look at this house, or just like this filler content, but actually engage your audience, and understand, how we can convert that into reaching your goals. So, having growth in social media kind of rides alongside with growth in, the commissions and the sales you make. So I think it's important to think of like goals independently, like your social media goals, right? Your health goals, all these different goals, and then create like just kind of a vision board for the new year and stuff like that.
Yeah, and those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. That quote, I think, should be in bright lights, because if you go into this new year and you have all these ideas and you don't execute, you're going to have the exact same year as the one previous, or probably worse. So it's important to set those
Yeah.
goals, but more importantly, to execute.
Yeah. I want to say
That's
one
a
thing
deep
right here.
quote.
Oh, sorry.
It's used
Yeah,
in
that's
politics a lot.
Probably why I've never heard it. What were you gonna say, Logan?
if you're a real estate agent that is setting goals for 2025 and you don't have a social media strategy and how to achieve that next year, you're going to have to book a call with us so we can help you develop this strategy. It's no commitment. We could talk to you, and we can help you actually take this off your plate and help you win next year.
I love that.
Me too.
And I think you were making fun of me, but it's fine. So I think that I think another way too. I think that's great, and I think we should end on this too. But I think just if someone's like, "What else do you do?" I think it's really important to look at what's already worked and just recreate it. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely.
100%.
That's true.
And if you're scared of posting and you're scared of what people are going to think of you, just remember that the stuff that you saw yesterday on Instagram, you probably don't remember today. And if you do have somebody, posting for you, and you just are super controlling of what goes out there, which is totally normal. We get that all the time. I would say just turn your phone off and watch it grow, right? Just don't even look, because watching yourself over and over again, you're going to be your own worst critic. You're going to say, wow, I don't like my chin the way it looks, or I don't like the way I said that, right? We're not all perfect, but in time, the more you get in front of the camera, the more comfortable you're going to get, the better your media is going to get. Your goal for next year is to hit 100 videos. And by the time you're at 100, you're going to be way better than when you started.
Yeah.
You gotta
There's always
post
a
and
reason.
ghost.
Post and
Ooh,
ghost.
dang.
Yeah, there's always a reason why we don't want to do something. One of my personal challenges that I'm setting for myself is to post more organically on my feed, because everything that I've posted over the years has been really polished and very intentional, but I want to show a little bit more of an organic way of creating content. And I think that that's going to come from like posting iPhone photos. I don't know. I don't think I've ever like posted an iPhone photo. I think that the majority
Yeah.
of all the content that I've posted, maybe like for a reel, has been through iPhone, but for a photo has all been like really doctored up type of content that I've created on an external software, something like that. And that's one of the personal goals that I'm setting, because the camera and the phone and the connection to the world, it's all in one place. It's called an iPhone. And it really just takes you a few moments to capture a moment to post it. And I think that the more that we're comfortable with posting, we're going to be able to create at mass. And there's always things that people are going to see that they don't personally like about themselves, or they don't like about anybody else, for that matter. But you can't please everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. You don't like everybody, so why worry about everyone liking you?
Yeah. I think like being yourself, Nate, like is so important because it's easy to be yourself and it's difficult to try and be someone else, right? And
Mm.
when you're in front of the camera, just say it how you would say it. Don't follow a script that isn't your words. Like I was actually watching Matthew McConaughey and Gordon Ramsay. They were on a like a sort of like a video vlog, and they're cooking steak and eggs. And Matthew McConaughey was talking about Greenlights, his book, and he said he had all these journals in a chest that he was, collecting over the years, and they were just like stories that he had written and different experiences in his life. And he went out to a cabin for like 2 weeks to write this book, put all these stories together. And as he was writing it, he was trying so hard to make it sound this way, right, and appropriate, right. And when he was writing that book, and then he was like, dude, what am I doing? This is like pulling teeth. Like, let me write it in my own words, how I sound, how I feel. And he said as soon as he just like flipped that switch and was not trying to worry about what other people think or what other people expect of how this is supposed to be written, he just started going. And that's really when he was just happy and he said, whatever. And he admitted he once he wrote the book, he read it once, published it, didn't look at it for a few years, and then he's finally looking at the book again. He's like, "What the hell was I thinking? What did I do?" But the thing was, is the book was a massive success, right? So sometimes trying to be someone you're not, or being overly critical on yourself, is gonna prevent you from starting and actually doing the thing. So give the people what they want and be yourself.
And that's important to know because he is like at the top of professional content creators, right? He's in Hollywood. He is Hollywood. He's a huge star. And if that is somebody who is an expert that is telling you exactly what we're saying, there's some truth to it.
In Matthew McConaughey, we trust.
Matthew McConaughey and Diplo.
All right, all right, all right.
Anybody else wanted to say anything?
I'm
I
cool.
think we're all good here.
My goal for 2024 is to make Logan's mom an influencer. So,
Let's go.
And
if you
2025,
guys,
right?
I don't know what he said.
We should
So
make a
if you,
bet. We should make a bet. He said in 2025. Blake said in 2025 he'll that will, yeah. But
it's
maybe we'll
about to
make a
be
bet.
fun.
I'll make you a bet, Montana. I don't know exactly what the bet will be, but I want if you work with my mom and you get her to 20,000 followers by the end of next year, I think we could do something very big for you.
20,000. See, the reason
20,000
why he
is
said
crazy. Like, I don't even
20,000.
have that on
It's
mine.
because she
No,
had
but no,
zero.
Yeah,
this is the
just
thing. He said 20,000 because he ultimately really believes in your skill. So he thinks you're going to exceed a lot. So he's just trying to make it extra high.
I think you
So I take that
can.
as a
We all
compliment.
can. I mean, any of us can. It's just, the right thing. But my mom will listen probably to you. She won't listen to me. So if I were to work with her, I mean, I think she has like 1,000 followers. Like, she's cool. She's popular. She's funny.
She's
You know,
okay. I was trying to
she
end
checks
the
the boxes.
podcast.
She just needs Omni for consistency.
If you like this podcast, or if you're interested in learning more about a free framework that we could provide you, as well as any other strategies that Montana is going to craft for you, because she does an excellent job.